Hi, Templeton families. It's Mrs. Ness reporting from home with today's story. I chose this book today called Sheila the Brave, and I chose it because when I found out that we were going to be distant learning, I was so excited because I thought, I am so brave. Let's see if Sheila Ray is as brave as me. Sheila the Brave by Kevin Hanks. For Gretchen. Sheila Ray wasn't afraid of anything. She wasn't afraid of the dark. She wasn't afraid of thunder and lightning. And she wasn't afraid of the big black dog at the end of the block. At dinner, Sheila Ray made believe that the cherries in her fruit cocktail were the eyes of dead bears. And she ate 5 of them. And at school, Sheila Ray giggled when the principal walked by. And when her classmate Wendell stole her jump rope during recess, Sheila Ray tied him up until the bell rang. I am very brave, Sheila Ray said, patting herself on the back. I am very brave. Sheila Ray stepped on every crack in the sidewalk without fear. And when her sister Louise said there was a monster in the closet, Sheila Ray attacked it. And she rode her bicycle no-handed with her eyes closed. Yay, yay, Sheila Ray, her friends yelled, clapping their hands. Look at that picture. Eyes closed and no hands. That is pretty brave. One day, Sheila Ray decided to walk home from school a new way, but Louise was afraid to. You're too brave for me, Louise said. You're always such a scaredy cat, Sheila Ray called. Am not, whispered Louise. Sheila Ray started off skipping. I am brave, she sang. I am fearless. She sings too? That's very much me. She stepped on every crack, and she walked backwards with her eyes closed. Look, do you see Louise? She's hiding. She growled at stray dogs, and she bared her teeth at stray cats. And she pretended that the trees were evil creatures, and she climbed up them and broke their fingers off. Snap, snap, snap. There's Louise again. Sheila Ray walked and walked. She turned corners, she crossed streets, but then suddenly it occurred to Sheila Ray that nothing looked familiar. Sheila Ray heard frightening noises. They sounded worse than thunder. And she thought horrible thoughts. They were worse than anything she had ever imagined. I am brave, Sheila Ray tried to convince herself. I am fearless. Look at this picture. Do you see Louise? Right there. It's her little bow. The sounds became more frightening. The thoughts became more horrible, and Sheila Ray sat down on a rock and cried, help! She sniffed. She thought of her mother and her father and Louise. Mother! Father! Louise! She cried. Here I am, a little voice said. Louise! Sheila Ray hugged her sister. We're lost, Sheila Ray said. No, we're not, said Louise. I know the way home. Follow me. Louise stepped on every crack. She walked backwards with her eyes closed. She growled at stray dogs and bared her teeth at stray cats. And she pretended that the trees were evil creatures, and she jumped up and broke their fingers off. Snap, snap, snap. Sheila Ray walked quietly behind her. They walked and walked. They crossed streets. They turned corners. And soon their house could be seen between the trees. Sheila Ray grabbed Louise and dashed up the street. When they reached their own yard and the gate was closed behind them, Sheila Ray said, "Louise, you are brave. You are fearless." "We both are," said Louise. And they walked backwards into the house with their eyes closed. When we started distant learning, I felt so brave. And then there's been a few times where I've been really scared and worried. I know that it's going to be hard to learn from home. You always had a teacher there. And now you're going to have to do a lot of your own work all by yourself. Find a friend. Find a Louise. They can help you through it. I miss you all. Stay well and wash your hands. Bye, families.